Hey guys, thanks for stopping by. Don't forget to subscribe now. In this video, I'm going to show you a couple ideas that you can do with your kids on really hot days when you just don't feel like going outside. All right, it's super easy to color rice. If you wanted to do so, you would just take a glass mason jar like this. You can just fill it up with however much rice that you want. I'm gonna go about that much. And what you wanna use is alcohol. Now, ladies, I'm not talking about your coconut rum, okay? I'm talking about like rubbing alcohol. And the best one to use is the one that's the 91%. And you can see I got this one here at CVS, but you can get it anywhere, Walmart, wherever. And you wanna go ahead and fill the jar up with rice so that the rice is completely covered with the rubbing alcohol. And then you are going to put in a couple of drops of food coloring. You're gonna put a lid on top of the mason jar, shake it up. You can let it sit for a couple of hours, or you can even let it soak overnight. And then when you're done, you are going to drain out the water and let the rice dry. So I just lined a plate with some aluminum foil and put the rice on top of it and spread it out so that it will dry faster. All right, real quick, I'm gonna throw together the sensory bin. Like I said, I used rice. The blue rice that I made is dry, so I'm gonna go ahead and pour that in and mix it up a little bit so now it's got some color in it. I have these beads, which I've used before in another video. I'm just gonna go ahead and throw those in. I have these guys, which you've seen before in my craft closet. I'm gonna throw some of those in. Can throw in these glass beads, are really nice to put into a sensory bin. I think that they give a really nice feel. They're nice and smooth in texture, so I always like to put those in. And also, I found these sea creatures in my closet that I would put in as well, and there you have it. That is just a really simple little sensory bin that the kids can help you make, and you can pull this out on a hot day. You can change it up with the color of rice or the materials if you want to use beans. For really little kids who might put things in their mouth, obviously you're not going to put anything in there that would be a choking hazard. I've seen people use like crumbled up oats and graham crackers for kids who are still putting things in their mouth. You know, you just have to be creative and know your own child, but these are really good on a hot day when your kids are feeling bored, and yeah, it gives them something to do. All right guys, I'm gonna do something a little bit different. For this video, I'm going to give a free giveaway. I have filled a Ziploc bag with the rice and the blue colored rice. There's also pony beads in there. There's the little sequiny, sparkly pom-poms. I added some sea creatures. There's also the glass beads in there and some rhinestones as well. Keep in mind that this is geared toward a child between the ages of 3 and 6. And all you would really need is a rectangular plastic container to put it in. But if you would like to have this, message me and I will get it out to you. I'll pick somebody and I will get it out to you. If you venture out to the beach, have the kids collect shells, and then on days when it's too hot and you don't feel like going outside, they can use those shells for a variety of activities. You can put those shells into their sensory bin. They could use them in Play-Doh. They could put them in their treasure box. Another thing that I find that's really cool, you can use that air dry clay, and you can find that in a number of different places. And they can press the shell, you know, make a little circle out of it, kind of like a pancake. You're gonna take usually like a toothpick or something to make a little hole in it, and they can press the shell into it. And then once it's dry, they can be painted, you can put glitter on it, you can make a necklace out of it, and that's just kind of like an extension of an activity where, you know, you went to the beach and then you bring the beach home, and now you have another activity for another day during the summer. So that's a good one. You're just gonna take the air dried clay and roll it up into a little ball, and then kind of just flatten it like so, whatever size that you want. And this is just a shell that we had found at the beach. You're just gonna take the shell and press it right into the clay, just like that, and take a toothpick and insert it in and make a hole big enough to put a ribbon through. And you're gonna go ahead and set that aside and wait till it dries. This is the seashell necklace that I had made earlier. I painted it like a really pretty teal color and added some glitter to it. And so, yeah, that is another activity, like I said, that you can do as an extension of, you know, going to the beach and finding shells. That makes a really pretty necklace that the kids can make. You know, they can make a ton of these. So yeah, just another fun activity. At the beginning of the year, I always like to save shoe boxes because my kids always need them for craft projects at school, whether they're making dioramas or whatever else they might be making at school. And at the end of the year, I always have a ton left over. These are really great for a indoor summer craft, and a shoebox just like this can turn into something like this. So basically, I just made a treasure box, and your kids can use, you know, whatever craft supplies that you might have on hand, glitter, sparkles, markers, crayons, paper, anything that you can think of. And they can put whatever they want in it. They can store shells in it from the beach, whatever they would like to put in it. You could use it as a little dollhouse. They could use it for, if it was a boy, they could use it for race cars. They could use shoe boxes for building things, just really anything. Just be creative and use your imagination. So for this activity, I took a flat sheet and I hung it up over my son's closet to make a little reading area. And inside, I laid down an old comforter, I added a pillow, and some lighting. This is a really cool thing for kids to have on a hot day where they can just go and escape and read a book. It's also really good for kids who maybe don't normally like to read. It makes a very inviting space for them. In the summertime, I love to get just a piece of foam board and have puzzles that we can do whenever we want. Simple paper towel tubes can be used for so many different things for an indoor activity. I'm going to show you right now. They can be used kind of like as pins, and you know, you can have your child try to throw a ball, see if they can knock them over. You can decorate them first, and that could be a fun game that they could play with them. The paper towel tubes could be taped together and kind of used as a tunnel for little toy cars. That's another activity that they could do. Also, you can have your child decorate them with whatever crayons, markers, glitter, whatever you happen to have on hand. And if the child is able to use a scissor, or you yourself could cut them in half or cut them in different shapes, they actually can make really cute little stacking blocks that your kids can build with. And, you know, you can always add other things to them, whether it be, you know, little figurines or whatever. So it would be a good idea to start saving some paper towel tubes, because they can come in handy on a hot summer day. So when I was teaching preschool, one of the things that I really liked to do during the summer was to fill an ice cube tray with something like a sugar-free Kool-Aid. And then what you can do, either indoors or outdoors, is give the kids a piece of paper, and they can take the ice cubes and they can just paint with them on a piece of paper. It's a really cool sensory activity that I love to do, because they get to see the colors, they get to feel how cold the ice is, and they also get to smell it because the Kool-Aid is scented. Just make sure that you do use the sugar-free. All right, guys, just a couple more ideas of things that you can do when it's really hot outside for the kids. I know that my kids absolutely love scavenger hunts. My sister is like the queen of scavenger hunts. And when she comes down, she goes like all out making these big, extravagant scavenger hunts. And the kids absolutely love them. They're really easy to put together. There's like a ton of ideas that you could go ahead and find on Pinterest. You could always set them up the night before and then have it ready for the kids to do the next day. Another idea of something that's really fun to do with kids are minute to win it games. And those are really cool because, again, they can be kind of catered to the ages of the child. You can put minute to win it games together with so many things that you probably already have in your house, and I will try to link the video below of our St. Patrick's Day minute to win it games, and you can get some ideas off of those. But again, you know, you can just do a search online, and those games are super fun. I like those because it's kind of an active type of an indoor activity for really hot days during the summer. And the last thing that I wanted to share with you is cooking. Again, cooking can be catered to the age of the child. If you have a younger child, you know, you could do an easier recipe with fewer ingredients. If they're older kids, you can do, you know, a more advanced recipe with more ingredients. You could even, you know, again, depending on the age of your child, you know your kids. So, you know, depending on what the recipe calls for, you know, you could lay out the recipe for them and have them do it themselves. I know my kids are really, really into a lot of those like kind of crazy, funky cooking shows on TV. Nailed It is one of them, where, you know, they're shown a recipe and then they have to replicate it. They're really big into that. I know some of like the Cupcake War type of recipe cooking shows are really popular with the kids. And so, you know, that would be something really fun for them to maybe do on a really hot day, and, you know, they can eat what they make. So those are just 3 additional ideas that I had for you that you could do with your kids during the summertime when the weather is just, you know, really hot and you don't want to go outside. I hope you like this video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell notification for future updates on my videos, and we'll see you next time.